Hi guys, Diane here. I promised you guys another video on how to actually develop your business strategy, and here it is. I know that this can be a little bit of an overwhelming process or a little bit of a confusing process if you've never done it before, or if this is the first time that you're really thinking about your strategy as a decision-making tool. Like I said in my previous video, I'm going to really focus in on making this simple so that you guys can get started, you can get focused, you can get intentional, and you can do it really fast. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, your strategy is just a decision making guide for your business. It's what you use as your kind of overarching roadmap for what decisions you're going to make throughout the year so that you can achieve that vision. So, how do you actually create a strategy? Well, the first thing that you have to do is get really, really clear on what it is that you're trying to do. What is your business vision? What does your business look like? What does it do? Where is it operating? Get really clear on all the things that you want in your business and what you want to accomplish. That's the first step. And a lot of people miss out on this step and they start to do things like following revenue streams or, ideas that will get them a lot of money and traction fast. But that doesn't create any alignment. There needs to be alignment through your strategy. So the first step is to really focus in on what does your business look like? What does your dream business look like? What does the vision of it look like for you? Once you have that, you can start to build smart goals around that vision and create some alignment between the business that you ultimately want to have and the goals that you have to hit in order to get there. That's two-thirds of the actual strategy right there. So, take for example me. I mentioned before that I want to build an agency. My vision for my business is an operational management agency. So for me, that means that my strategy is focused around, my vision actually is focused around what does that agency look like? How many people does it employ? What are the various tiers of people am I going to employ? What revenue metrics am I going to hit? What clients am I going to work with? How many clients do I have? How many managers do I have? I'm very clear on all of these things, and that creates alignment between my vision and my actual strategy at the end of the day. That's what you also need to put in place in your own business. What do you want to achieve? Get really, really clear on what that business looks like. And then step number two, put some SMART goals, some metrics around that vision so that your vision and your goals are now aligned, right? Then the third step is to really flesh out the focus areas for your strategy. Because once you have the goals, it will be a lot easier to focus in on what areas of your business that you need to really work on over a set period of time in order to reach that strategy. So for a lot of people, a lot of business owners who are just getting started, who are, really either launching their businesses or really trying to ramp up and get really to consistent revenue, their focus areas are around marketing, around sales. As you are kind of developing, you have a more developed business, it's a little more established. You have a number of clients, things are good and consistent, then your focus is going to shift a little bit. Your strategic focus will shift more to your team members, your support, um, and then finally, when you are at the stage where your business is kind of, this is the max, right? This is what you had in mind. This is what you envision. You have that vision in place, and you want to start to change or think about what the next iteration of your business looks like. That's when your focus will shift a little bit, and your strategies will shift to, operational efficiency, creating more efficiency. It'll be around creating systems and operations, automations, and kind of finding other ways to outsource and make that business more efficient. That's what I see with a lot of business owners. When you're just starting out, yes, sales, marketing are 100%, like, almost 90% of the strategic focus. As you start to develop, it starts to shift more towards, what are my operational foundations? Where are my teams? What are my support pieces look like? And then finally, once you're really in that, like, mature phase, then you're starting to think about leverage. And in leverage, you're thinking about how can I be more efficient? How can I automate more? How can I do more with less so that I can move on to other projects and, create the next iteration of the business, right? So those are the three things that you really need in order to create a strategy. First, you need clarity around what your business vision is. Secondly, you need to put some metrics, some SMART goals around around your vision, and then use those metrics to create your strategic focus areas. So when you do this, you'll notice that your strategic focus areas are tied to your goals, which are then tied to your ultimate business vision. You have alignment and you're going to be able to achieve the business that you ultimately want instead of building a business that you don't want, you might not know that you want, or building something totally different from what you envisioned altogether. Right. So I hope that this helped you and, get clear on your strategy and start to develop it. If you are roaring to go and you think you need a little more guidance on the strategy creation process, be on the lookout for details about my upcoming virtual workshop. It's going to be very, very limited in space as we do a beta test on how this will work out. Only 8 participants in the total group, and we'll actually break you guys down into groups of 2 or 3. So you get a lot more of personalized attention, so you can develop a really strong strategy. I'll be rolling out details on that. So be on the lookout for that. Drop me a comment or leave me a note, shoot me a note personally if you think you might want to be part of that beta group. And until next time.